Sometimes it doesn't matter how well you are prepared for your adventure, there is always a risk of unpleasant experiences on your journey. We are going to tell you today about such a kind of incident which happened at Riesending Cave, Germany. Cave exploration is fun and full of adventure, but some caves like Riesending Cave don't come in handy. Today we are going to talk about the Riesending Cave disaster. Story of Johann Westhauser. Riesending Cave is located in Untersberg, Bavaria. This is also called the Pit Cave, which is 1,148 meters at the deepest and 19,300 miles the longest cave in Germany. Its vertical orientation makes it technically challenging for the explorers because much of the interior structure goes straight up and down. Therefore, the explorers can only move up and down on ropes for large parts of it. The Riesending Cave was first explored by Hermann Sommer and Ulrich Meyer in 1996. In 2014, it became famous for the biggest ever rescue effort and was called a chapter in Alpine rescue history to rescue Johann Westhauser. Johann Westhauser is one of the original and principal researchers of the Riesending. He is a physicist, a speleologist, and a cave rescuer himself. Since its discovery, he was fascinated by the idea of this cave system and wanted to explore all unexplored parts of this cave system so that he could not stop himself from coming down the pit cave again. This time, he planned the most extensive and dangerous mission to re-enter and find something undiscovered about the cave system. He knew that essential precautions and basic preparation would be inevitable to survive if he wanted to go down that pit again. Apart from climbing, he was going to explore this cave, so it was not a handy task. He and his team prepared for their mission. They had to use a unique piece of equipment called a sender because traditional rock climbing techniques are impossible to work out in this cave. On the 7th of June 2014, Johan and his team reached the pit cave system. Reaching the bottom of this cave had never been accomplished before. That's why they brought hundreds of pounds of rope, food, water, required hardware, lights, and batteries, along with the first aid kit. Johan was so excited and wanted to be successful in this expedition, this time while knowing about the high risk of injury or death. Johan entered the cave around noon, along with his two colleagues. They ascended the cold, damp cave through the ropes and managed to make it to the first base station. Johan was utterly focused on the task. This cave part where Johan was struggling to go down was a bit rough with loose rocks. On June 8th, Johan felt that his rope was a bit stuck to something. On their way down, the team felt a rock fall, but they couldn't see it from where they were falling. It was too dark in the cave, as they were wearing small headlamps. They had no option except to continue downwards. Suddenly, Johan was struck by a large piece of rock and fell unconscious despite him wearing a helmet. At this time, they had descended 3,280 feet down the cave, and they were near the unexplored area. The rocks continued to fall, and the teammates were in shock because it was near to impossible to take Johan out of the cave. They had come a long way, and no one could reach quickly. They decided that one of them would go up and the other would stay with Johan. Before moving further in this video, please leave a like and subscribe to our channel. It took 10 hours to reach the teammate to the surface and call a rescue operation. After 2 days after Johan entered the cave, 3 groups of rescuers, total of 11 people, entered the cave. A cave link system was established through a solid rock to send and receive messages. Mountain rescue teams from Germany and Austria reached the scene. On the evening of 11th of June, Dr. Martin Goxu was able to reach where Johan fell traumatized. A minor traumatic brain injury was diagnosed. A shock-proof stretcher was made to avoid certain rockfall problems. It was a narrow passage through the cave, so no machinery could reach it. All the work had to be done by hand and ropes. On the 19th of June at 11:45 a.m., they reached the surface successfully. Johan was transported to a nearby trauma hospital. Luckily, Johann's condition was stabilized within the days of the rescue operation. He went through cheekbone surgery and some other treatments for 2 weeks. Later, he went through several months of therapy and was able to recover from his injuries. As you made it this far, please let us know in the comments what you think about this incident. Please leave a like and subscribe to Catastrophe. Thanks for watching.